Hey everybody, Ben here for the Better Podcast, and we've got some breaking news. Not only is normality kind of returning in the Bonehead land, we're also getting some stuff for Blood Bowl. And there's two things to talk about today. The first is new star player model. Now, we knew that Kiroth Krakeneye was returning. We've seen him in Blood Bowl 3, but now we've got a brand new model. So first things first, let's have a look at the new returning star player. So over on the Games Workshop at Warhammer community, you've got this little bit of Blood Bowl news here. So tackle the terrors of the deep with Blood Bowl star player Kiroth Krakeneye. F11, let's make this bigger. So you've got the standard Bob and Jim doing stuff. So sailors love their tall tales, and none more so than the swashbuckling commodore of a elven circuit known as Kiroth Krakeneye. As commander of the Black Ark Fateful Voyage, Kiroth has taken his Blood Bowl talents to the four corners of the world, where the stories of his supposed exploits have made him a household name among fans. Now, Kiroth Krakeneye joined us in Blood Bowl 2016, and from the artwork, and now from this new model, he's very much based on an old Dark Elf hero from Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Kuron Felheart or something? Maybe I'm making that up. He was a Dark Elf Corsair that had a golden mask, and the golden mask was magical and had tentacles, and that's basically what he became in Blood Bowl. Spoiler alert, this star player is Dark Elf, he's got a Corsair cloak, and he's got a golden head with lots of tentacles, and the tentacles appear to be moving, and that is definitely a hint at the skills that he's got. So, in one particularly outlandish tale that he himself insists is true, the crew of the Fateful Voyage wrapped up their vessel in enchantments and dove below the waves to play a friendly game against the mythical South Storm squids. Though the game ended in tragedy when the enchantments wore off and the entire team was crushed beneath the waves, Krakeneye alleges the squids saved him personally and gave him his eye-catching headwear as a consolation prize. So that is the story of how he got his golden-faced tentacles. It's this tentacular helmet that gives Kiroth his name, for he seemingly inert face comes alive during matches to writhe and lash out in disturbing manners. So downright weird is the display that few players want to spend more than a moment around him. And if any are brave enough to look right at the man, they won't get. They are want to get an eye full of black ink for their trouble. So that's going to be his special power, his feat. So black ink. Once per game at the start of any of his activations, Kiroth can choose an opposition player he is marking. The chosen player loses their tackle zone until they are next activated. So that is automatic hypnotic gaze, which is massive. So at the start of any event activation, so he has to be in base contact with the player, but you just bamf away their tackle zone, and it doesn't even say that that's all he can do. So in theory, if Kiroth Krakeneye is on the corner of a cage, you can switch off that tackle zone, and then he can then go and jump in or go and do something different. This special rule makes him an excellent technical player who sets up game-winning plays by knocking out a crucial tackle zone. Yep, with the natural agility of his preferred teams lending themselves to bursts of speed and skill. The 160k required to enlist Kiroth Krakeneye is a small price to pay for victory. You'll be able to hire this excellent resin model for your own Elven Kingdoms leagues soon. So 160k is fantastic. I believe we've actually got the stats for him from Blood Bowl 3, but we're going to have a quick look at the old edition, Kiroth Krakeneye. He was 170k in the last edition, he's 160k now, so he's got a little bit cheaper, as most star players have. Movement 7, Strength 3, Edge 4, Armor 8+, that's all very basic stuff. That's a Dark Elf Blitzer stat line. I imagine that's what we're going to get from Kiroth here. Disturbing Presence, Foul Appearance, Loner, Pass Block, Tackle, Tentacles. So I think we are likely to see most, if not all of those skills return. Disturbing Presence, I think it's kind of talked about in this article, isn't it? So downright weird is the display that few players want to spend more than a moment around him. I feel like, well, and the fact it says they writhe and lash out in a disturbing manner, I think we're going to see Disturbing Presence retained for this player. Foul Appearance makes sense. It's a clunky rule, but it makes sense. Loner, sure. Pass Block has kind of been replaced now by On the Ball. So, That's an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see if he's got that. Tackle, yes. Tentacles, yes. So in the olden times, he had no block skills. It was just the specials. So I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see that kind of stay the same. But I couldn't find the rule set for him from Blood Bowl 3. But I believe in Blood Bowl 3, there was actually a weird thing where his agility was 3+, which made him really trash. Kiroth Krakeneye. Yeah, so if we do see him join, but get the agility 3 that he's got in Blood Bowl 3, then that is just very, very, very bad. Okay, so I just jumped on Blood Bowl 3, and this is Kiroth Krakeneye from Blood Bowl 3. So we kind of knew he was floating about. Movement 7, yes. Strength 3, yes. Edge 3+. Passing 3+, armor 9+. Armor makes sense. Passing's quite good. Agility 3+ is quite bad, so I don't know if that's really going to be the case. That'll be the interesting one to see whether Cyanide had like an early release for the team, for the star players or something. But skills-wise, you've got Tentacles, Disturbing Presence, Kickoff Return, Tackle, Foul Appearance, and Loner 4+. So that, I believe, lines up exactly to this. Disturbing Presence, Foul Appearance, Loner, Pass, Block. He's now Kickoff, Return, Tackle, and Tentacles. So no block that we can see. He didn't used to have block. He doesn't have block now, but he does have Tackle. So that's pretty good. So a movement 7 piece for 160k with Tackle. Strength 3 is fine. I think it all really depends on what that agility is going to be. If that agility is 3+, that's really disappointing. They do seem to be hurting the agility of star players. We saw this from Wither Grasp Double Draw. He's Edge 4+. So Kiroth Krakeneye will be interesting to see. Now, I think before we move on, the model is beautiful. Like, it is one of the best star player models I think they've done. You've got the big flesh cloak from the Sea Dragons, which is what the Corsairs wear. And you see he's got the scales on the back. Love the scales on the front there. That's interesting to see. But I mean, there's a ton of dynamism. Yes, I know he's wedged on the base with just his foot, which is going to be a bit of a modelling challenge for some people and definitely a point of contention. But I think it's beautiful. And I think the Forge World paint jobs have been incredibly good recently. Like, they have been perfect. There's some really nice blending. There's some really nice basing. They've gone to town, adding extra elements to their basing. It was really, really, really good. Beautiful highlighting. Really cool model. It absolutely captures the art perfectly. So a very cool drop. I look forward to seeing the full rules, but I imagine it's going to be something like this, potentially a little bit better. It's all going to be down to the edge. Now, if the edge is busted at 3+, having a cheap access to a tackle piece is still going to be really good. Edge 2+, mixed in with his automatic hypno gaze, absolutely, yeah, blooming love that. Now, there's one more bit of Blood Bowl news before we wrap up, and it is that there's more Blood Bowl news coming, and it is going to be next week, Thursday the 31st of August at 2 a.m. So Wednesday night into Thursday morning next week, 2 a.m. there's a Nova Open preview, and in that is Blood Bowl. And I have had approval from Tiff that I can get up early and do that video, which is very, very, very cool. So hopefully I won't have to sneak around like we did last year with the Norse ones. I think we may have a new team. New star player today, maybe new team next week. I'm on board with this. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, your predictions in the comments below, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.